Excellencies, honorable speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to the virtual forum of Polish and Lithuanian business communities on the occasion of the visit of the President of Poland, His Excellency Andrzej Duda to Lithuania. Let me briefly introduce myself. I'm Daina Kleponė, Managing Director of Enterprise Lithuania, the agency that helps businesses to grow. I'm very delighted to be a moderator of Lithuanian-Polish Business Forum today. On behalf of the organizers, we wish to extend our warm welcome and thank you to all participants of the Polish and Lithuanian Business Forum. Today we have about 160 innovative entrepreneurs from Poland and Lithuania, representatives of energy, defense, engineering, ICT, other sectors, as well as startups joining this forum online. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin with, I would like to invite President of the Republic of Lithuania, His Excellency Mr. Gitanas Nausėda, and President of the Republic of Poland, His Excellency Mr. Andrzej Duda, to deliver welcome speeches. Your Excellency, President Gitanas Nausėda, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, President of Republic of Poland, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome you at the Polish-Lithuanian Business Forum. Even the global public health crisis could not stop us from meeting and bringing our countries, as well as our business communities, closer together. The fact that the forum is taking place virtually is both a sign of the times and a testimony that any obstacle can be overcome if you really mean business. Together with the President of Poland, we take the management of COVID-19 seriously. We are eager to find solutions that would improve public health, as well as economic situation in our countries, and intend to help each other. There have been already many lockdowns worldwide, followed by economic contraction and social challenges. The European Union and individual member states have implemented unusual measures to fight the economic downturn. I'm happy to point out that a significant part of this effort is aimed at transforming our economies. There is a saying that one should not let a crisis go to waste. And I believe we won't do it because we see new opportunities opening before our eyes. A truly historic agreement was reached back in July by the European Union heads of state and government, which will provide 150 billion euros of investment for our long-term growth. I see this as an unmatched opportunity to create the new generation European Union, one that will be greener, more innovative, and hopefully stronger. We need a market that is more closely integrated, a workforce with better skills, as well as industries able to compete globally. All this should be supported by the green transition, the most ambitious goal of the European Union in a long time. Both policymakers and business communities must join forces in order to reach this goal. It is clear now that energy and mobility will be the most challenging areas to transform. But this will also enable our economies to generate even higher value added. Full climate neutrality and artificial intelligence solutions, backed by the next generation of telecommunication infrastructure, will enhance the efficiency of logistics, automation, related industries, and others. Of course, cybersecurity should be properly ensured too. Defense technologies and engineering will also be a priority, for together with Poland we share the same understanding of conventional and hybrid threats and geopolitical challenges. We have enhanced research and development funding for defense. We are also responsible NATO members. Therefore, I have repeatedly expressed a firm commitment that Lithuania will continue spending more than 2% of the GDP on defense. The information and communication technology sector is currently one of the biggest winners of the global lockdown. Remote work, e-commerce, and cybersecurity solutions are on a high demand. The world will not be the same after the crisis, and we must actively participate in this fundamental change. Lithuania is already making big inroads in the startup field, not only in financial technologies, but also in the smart mobility and sustainability. Startups have a crucial role in a changing economy. They are the fastest, not only to respond to changing consumer needs, but also to serve as catalysts for quick transformation. Free, diverse, open, and inquisitive societies are the biggest asset to those who actively seek innovation. Of course, it has to be complemented by adequate and timely funding. Thus, we need not only angel investors and venture capital providers, but also precise public schemes. Cooperation between Polish and Lithuanian startup ecosystems can make us all better and stronger. The same should be said about the development of various other business links between our countries. We already have significant links. Poland is Lithuania's second largest trade partner. We should further enhance this path of mutually respectful business cooperation. I would like to conclude by saying that the economic transformation, being a great opportunity for business, should also go hand in hand with social transformation. Once we reap the benefits of unprecedented European Union investment, we need to make sure that they are shared with the society at large. Only then will success be sustainable. Only then we will have a mature welfare state I wish Lithuania to become. I hope that this business forum will exceed our expectations and bring up many fresh ideas. Yesterday, together with the President of Poland, I signed a joint declaration on the establishment of the Council of Presidents that will cover the wide range of areas, including our further cooperation in trade, research, development, and innovation. I believe this is a good sign for things to come, and I wish all of you a very productive event and lasting partnerships. Thank you.
Your Excellency President Nausėda, Your Excellencies Ambassadors, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly honored to address you today at this business forum. Let me take this opportunity to express my thankfulness for your contribution to strengthening ties between Poland and Lithuania. Our neighborly relations are centuries long. They comprise of so many dimensions, yet one of them is of paramount importance. It's the economic cooperation. We share glorious moments in history of our statehoods, but we also remember painful times of subjection. It was in the 20th century when our peoples experienced unprecedented trauma. The post-war reality deprived Poles and Lithuanians of the possibility to develop their economies on a free market basis. Eventually, the collapse of the communist bloc enabled our nations to seek the long-desired sovereignty and unhampered development. Poland's and Lithuanians' accession to the common market opened the new prospects of our economies. As entrepreneurs, you take full advantage of this exclusive EU membership, contributing directly to our nation's welfare. Ladies and gentlemen, you have proved that despite operating in objectively more difficult business environment, you are bold, ambitious, competitive, and innovative. Speaking of difficult business environment, I mean hindered access to critical infrastructure as compared to Western European markets. There is no doubt entrepreneurs from our region suffer from lower quality of transportation routes, digital infrastructure, and powered grids. Over the past 5 years, we have strongly promoted the 3Cs initiative, traces of which one may find in the greatest moments of our two brotherly nations' history, the times of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I do believe the 3Cs initiative as a project of purely economic character, complementary to the process of European integration, may be the answer to our entrepreneurs' problems. I do appreciate the position of Lithuanian authorities towards this initiative. We have succeeded in building up a wide coalition of like-minded countries around the 3Cs initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3Cs initiative is based on the idea of acting in solidarity. Today, when we face this unparalleled crisis resulting from the pandemic, solidarity among nations is of uppermost importance. It must become a bedrock of European unity. The prospects of small and medium enterprises are far from being optimistic. Certain studies show that in the months to come, a significant number of European companies consider filing for bankruptcy if the overall economic situation does not improve. Tools developed within the 3Cs initiative may bring meaningful help to the business in these difficult times. Among them, there are the 3Cs Investment Fund, Business Forum, and CEE Plus Index. New platforms of cooperation are being developed too. Recently, Estonia came up with a proposal to organize a digital forum in autumn 2021. I'm convinced soon we shall witness emerging of more and more similar initiatives aiming and bolstering our region's economic position. Being confident that the 3Cs initiative may be instrumental in restoring our economy's fast-track growth, I call upon you to join hands with the governments in order to challenge the current setbacks. Please accept my very best wishes of fruitful debate in the spirit of neighborly solidarity and many successful business projects. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you to President of Lithuania, His Excellency Mr. Gitanas Nausėda, and President of Poland, His Excellency Mr. Andrzej Duda, for setting meaningful guidelines for further discussions today. In a world as interconnected as it is today, the close cooperation between countries is undoubtedly essential for the advancement of their economies. Luckily, Lithuania and Poland have already established good trade traditions. The trade between two countries grew for over 40% from 2014 to 2019. So the question regarding their cooperation is, where do the similarities between Poland and Lithuania start, and what co-created solutions can be designed in the future? To address these questions, I would like to invite Mr. Vidmantas Janulevičius, the President of Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists, to give a keynote speech about Lithuania's economy and opportunities to cooperate. Mr. Janulevičius, please.
Hello, dear colleagues. Nice to be there. Thank you very much for possibility to stay there. And I would like to share my screen to show some short presentation. I call this presentation, it's our man on the moon moment yet to come in cooperation with Poland. Yes, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this Lithuanian-Polish Business Forum. The meeting of the presidents of Lithuania and Poland provided an opportunity for the business community to meet and discuss issues of cooperation. I'm very pleased that our partner, Leviathan, are participating in the discussion of topical issues today. The Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists has a long-standing relationship with our counterpart in Poland, Leviathan. Over the years, we have had exchange with delegations and participated in various joint projects. By the way, together with the Leviathan, we're in one family of the European Confederation, Business Europe, and nicely cooperate on European issues. I would like to share some figures regarding our cooperation, which is growing every year. And I hope sooner or later, as an export market, Poland is the third now, but I hope sooner or later will come figure higher. At that moment, you can see on the slide, Poland stands a third biggest export market for Lithuanian exporters, which counts for around 8% or 2.4 billion euros of all Lithuanian export. By the way, 2/3 of this amount consists of Lithuanians export, and the remaining 1/3 is re-export. Lithuanian and Polish businesses already cooperate. Lithuanian and Polish businesses already cooperate closely in transport, energy, and food industries. According to the data of 2019, the largest exports from Lithuania to Poland by industry was the mineral fuels, around 30% of exports from Lithuania to Poland. Food industry, 25%. Plastic industry, 16%. Moreover, the growth since 2010 was the highest in developing defense industry, which is very important for us, more than 70%. Leisure and jewelry industries, 40%. Chemical industry, around 40%. It's really significant progress. Regarding the imports to Lithuania from Poland, Poland stays as the second biggest import on the Lithuania market in 2019, near 4 billion euros, or near 12% of all Lithuanian goods imports was from Poland. The largest imports from Poland by industry in 2019 were machinery, appliances and vehicle industry, around 30%, food industry, 18%, chemical industry, more than 11%, and metal industry, 10%. However, the growth, again, since 2010, was the highest in leisure industry, around 40%, furniture industry, 35%, machinery industry, more than 30%, and metal industry, again, around 30%. Key sectors for our cooperation is still existing and the future ones. ICT, total export value was near $500 million. Average annual value growth was around 12%. Export intensity, 24%. At the defense industry, around 40 companies with solutions and services for defense sector create a strong scientific base. Active research and development institutes and universities, high-tech engineering. Total export of the defense industry, it's around 800 million euros. It's really very nice figures. Average annual production value growth was around 20%, and export intensity was 85%. Regarding Lithuania, it's really a reliable partner. It's a good combination of entrepreneurship and innovation performance. Lithuania scores highest in terms of macroeconomic stability in the world, according to the World Competitiveness Report 2 times in a row, in 2018 and in 2019. Of course, managing the post-COVID recession, just 1.8% of economy decreases throughout by 2020. It's the smallest decrease in the whole Europe. Yeah, this was announced by the International Monetary Fund by this year. According to the World Bank 2019 report of the easy doing business in Lithuania is 11th in the world and the highest in the region. Easy to get registering property, we are in the 4th place in the world. Easy to get permits for constructions, 10th place in the world. And enforces contracts, we are the 7th place by the world. Economic freedom is high in Lithuania, around 16 on the 16th place. Lithuania scores high in terms of small government size, low taxes, and good fiscal health. The Heritage Fund, next slide, please. Yes, I would like just to say a few examples in our real cooperation between Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists and Confederation of Leviathan. It's a smart energy digital innovation hub was established under Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists initiative. It is a networking organization without formal structure and coordinated by the Digital Innovation Institutes. Smart Energy Digital Innovation Hub, acting as the renewable energy innovation ecosystem, it brings together major research, business, and public stakeholders for the common development and implementation of digital transformation in the renewable energy, greenhouse gas reduction, eco-design, recycling, environmental protection, secular business model development, and associated sectors that meets European citizens' needs. And in this case, we tried to do this in the Baltic states, together with the Polish colleagues, Polish organization of Leviathan. Another our initiative, it's Interina projects, which the same rule by the Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists into international chains of experimental development and innovation. Over 3,000 enterprises under the umbrella of Lithuanian Confederation of Industrialists, covering almost all the main sectors of Lithuanian manufacturing, could become your partners in research and development with the help of Interina LT. We invite Polish colleagues to be more active on that kind of platforms to create bigger and more closely business between our two countries. And I would like to say thank you for cooperation. We are very happy that Poland, it's become closer and closer, not geographically, but the same in the business area, and our cooperation is growing in the last decade so fast. We hope the next decade will be even faster and we will have the biggest trading partner, not as a just neighbor country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Janulavičius, for an overview. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Maciej Witucki, the president of Polish Confederation Leviathan, to deliver a keynote speech and overview the Poland's economy and prospects for cooperation. Mr. Witucki, please. We are waiting for Mr. Witucki. Probably he has some connection problems. Please hold on. Please hold on for a couple of minutes. We are trying to reach Mr. Witucki to find out what have happened. Oh, Mr. Witucki, you are here now. Thank you very much. Please unmute yourself, and we are waiting for your opening remarks, please.
Should we go ahead?
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you. Please, Mr. Witucki.
Okay, I can start. Thank you very much. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, very happy and very pleased to be invited to this meeting. In the difficult times, in the very digital times, so we see each other remotely, but digital, it's a big discovery of this difficult period of COVID. We have a period where the remote working, where the digital tools suddenly jumped into the reality. Something which we have been expecting for many years suddenly became our day-to-day reality. So Leviathan, as a Polish Confederation of Employers, putting together more than 4,000 companies, putting together more than 1 million jobs in the country, it's very happy that this revolution. So on one hand, we have this terrible disease. On the other side, we have this revolution in our habits. We have the revolution in our ways of doing business, and we discover new opportunities. Obviously, today, first priority is health. It's the life of our citizens. So Polish government, Polish companies, obviously in the last 6 months have this as a priority number one. We did tremendous jobs on the company side. If you see some results we have been publishing from our member companies, we have companies in the furniture retailing with 5,000 employees, with 80 cases of COVID, and with zero horizontal transmission. It shows to which extent the businesses have been fighting against the pandemic in the last 6 months, and to which extent businesses are today resilient to the situation. So obviously we are not yet at the end of the difficult period, but we are thinking about the future. We have to think about the future in 2 dimensions. One dimension is this recovery plan. So today we will lose at least 4% of GDP in 2020 in Poland, which is much better than the European average, but still, which is a dramatic drop after what we have been having in the previous years. So we have to rebuild. We count a lot on this common recovery plan, which have been proposed by the EU Commission. So we, as Polish companies, we really hope that this risk of Polish and Hungarian veto will not materialize. That a proper resolution will be found as soon as possible, because we need European solidarity. We, as a country, and I think it's common to both of us, Lithuania and Poland, we need European funds to rebuild our economies and to develop our economies. Obviously, those economies are very, very close. We have common priority, we have common heritage, and common developments. Today, this link between Poland and Lithuania, it's not at the scale we would be expecting from both sides. And we really believe that this recovery plan, it's an area where we can work closer together. If we speak about cooperation, so obviously we have already this energy sector, the traditional Orlen Możejki situation, but what is interesting for us is go beyond this point. And I think the areas where we should collaborate much closer is the energy, and is the energy in its new dimension, the green revolution. I believe that our countries, being somehow delayed because of the post-communist heritage, today we can jump some periods, we can jump some solutions and go to the to the very modern and green economies. I know that Lithuania did enormous progresses on the renewable. In Poland, it's picking up back. So I think there is an option of building common projects. To give an example, Polish government speaks today about the gigafactory, so kind of giant factory of photovoltaic. I really believe that such a solution could be built together, because I know that you have a brilliant companies in Lithuania working already on the photovoltaic, developing those technologies. So those are the areas. Then obviously you have the infrastructure, and not only the road infrastructure, because it's a shame for us that Lithuanian citizens still have to use a regular normal road to connect Europe because of the missing part on the Polish side. So yes, all those 3 C's initiatives, we should accelerate them, maybe not waiting to materialize at the level of the entire 1/3 of the Europe, but accelerate the areas which are already very interesting for both countries. We should do the same on the internet side. Digital sovereignty. We have common challenges. We have young economies, young startups ready to develop, but those startups they may be hit by digital taxes. So I really believe that Poland, Lithuania, and more largely the region, we should have more voice from business about what are our expectations. Otherwise, the solutions will be done elsewhere. And I have nothing against the German-French tandem driving Europe, but I really believe that the Polish, Lithuanian, Baltic, Central European countries, we should have more voice. And so the cooperation should not only be at the business level, so building common projects together, but also at, I would say, somehow intellectual and regulatory level, to have a common voice, because our young economies, our young companies, they may have needs and priorities a bit different from the priorities of the old Europe. Anyway, just to conclude, I really believe that the green and the digital are the areas where we have, both our countries, we have the comparable needs. We have advantages of both sides. You have excellent companies, we have excellent startups, we have them in Poland. In Poland, we have a size which allows to deploy the technologies and to build upscale, real, I would say, champions, at least at the European level. Because clearly it's about size. In green area, the territories are not yet occupied as they are occupied in the digital by the GAFAs and other big players. In green, we can still build common solutions, and those solutions can be done at the level of Central and Eastern Europe and Polish, Lithuanian. We are neighbors. We are so close. So we own you the road, connecting you with a proper highway to Europe. But also together we can build the digital roads, the digital solutions, the digital security, and the green economy, which can be an example and which can be a very strong element of reconstruction, because today we have to speak about reconstructing our economies after the pandemic, which is not yet over. And we believe at Leviathan, we believe that this is something which will stay with us at least until first half of next year. So we will have a lot of GDP to rebuild. And this GDP, we can only build it as European countries, as member of the European Union, using the European budget, which should be approved as soon as possible, but also using the synergies between our countries, the natural, I would say, priorities being together because of the history and also geographical distance. With being neighbors is an important element. Being neighbors help to build business, help to visit each other. When I need to meet my friend Vidmantas, we can reach each other, even with the bad road, sorry for repeating it, within a few hours. And it's important because businesses, they should meet. And when the pandemic will be over, we should meet physically as soon as possible, because this builds relations and this builds opportunities for business. And Leviathan is ready to support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maciej. Thank you very much as well. We fully agree on all your issues. Let's cooperate together.
Thank you, Mr. Wituski, for such an inspirational speech. And I think that, yes, I agree with you. Let's think about future. Let's think about common voice. And the economies of Poland and Lithuania face many challenges today. Fierce global competition and rapid innovation and technological change. And the most recent, of course, the coronavirus outbreak, which changes completely how we work and how we live. Look, we are not meeting, not online now, but I really believe that soon we will meet live. So the main question of the following panel discussion is how to cooperate when the economy is transforming, and how does cooperation help to cope with today's challenges? So I would like to introduce the topic of the first panel discussion, energy and mobility. We do have some perfect examples of cooperation between countries in energy field, which were mentioned already with the previous speakers, the LTPL link connection, which links both countries via electricity for 5 years already, the physical gas connection of Poland and Baltic countries via the GIPL, and the upcoming synchronization, of course, of Baltic states' electricity grid with Western Europe. What are next steps for further cooperation in pursuit of the sustainable energy and mobility solutions?